Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Sweet Spot.
We are your hosts.
I'm Diane.
And I'm Michael Pinball Clemens.
And we are so excited to be here today.
The Sweet Spot really is joy unspeakable, having balance in all you do.
It's being grateful, even when things aren't great. The desire to help others when you may be hurting yourself.
It is submission to a sovereign God who is in control when things look good or bad.
The Sweet Spot means happy times are happier, challenging times are growth opportunities, and love is the ruler of the day.
The Sweet Spot is resting and sometimes wrestling in the arms of the Almighty.
Simply put, if you're in your sweet spot, you're probably abiding in the fruits of the Spirit.
Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
So we hope you join us as we take this journey and engage in topics that we hope will inspire,
encourage,
challenge,
uplift,
excite,
insight,
refresh,
restore,
revitalize,
comfort,
stimulate,
and strengthen each of you in your daily walk.
Welcome to The Sweet Spot.
Good day and welcome to The Sweet Spot. We are so glad to have you back again today. How are you, honey?
I'm excellent.
Excellent.
I am really good.
Really good.
Yes.
Yeah, you're in your sweet spot.
I'm in my sweet spot.
Well, we are going to kind of talk about what is really, I think, the sweet spot of life in some essence, right? Because today we're going to talk about marriage, right? Now, the family is the foundation for our existence as human beings, regardless of where you're born in the world. The very first thing you're born into is a family.
Family, yeah.
So the family, as God has set it up, provides the foundation for our existence, right? And the foundation of family is marriage, right? You have a strong, healthy marriage. It usually is reflected in strong, healthy families, right? And so the real sweet spot is families who get along together, who thrive, right?
Yes.
So I want to talk about marriage. How long have we been married?
Ooh, it will be 25 years next June.
25 years.
25 sweet years, honey.
Yeah. Oh, now have you know that
25 years, man, that's a long time.
Yes. I have you know that's a tougher question for her than it is for me. I know you saw me ask her, you heard me ask her, but it is a tougher question for her than me. I'm the one that keeps the numbers in the family.
Oh yeah.
But I have to say that it has been absolutely amazing. But it is something that you work at. You do go through
every
challenges.
Single day.
That's right.
It really is. Marriage is an everyday thing.
And so today we're going to just kind of take one of those top 10 lists, right? And just kind of go through. So one top 10 list.
Top 10 list.
Is the top 10 hardships in marriage. The other is the top 10 stresses. They overlap with a couple of little things, but for the most part, they kind of have a few different concepts. So we're going to go through two. And I just randomly chose to use our base list from, Tony Dungy's All-Pro Dads. Of course, being a big football guy, Tony Dungy being, of course, the coach of the Indianapolis Colts.
Was the coach, yes.
And now is on Sunday Night Football.
That's right.
But Tony is also a really strong Christian.
He is.
And has a program called All-Pro Dads, suggesting that if you want to really be all-pro in something, the most important thing to do is be an all-pro as a parent. Parenting is the most noble profession on the face of the earth. And so All-Pro Dads is this first list. It's a list of 10 hardships. We took another list and that talks about some stresses, but we will just start we're just going to go the list. Should we start at number 1 or should we start at number 10 first?
I think we should start at number 10.
Number 10? Yeah. And work our way down. So this one, we're really just going to give you just some ideas. We're just going to talk about it. We really want to start a conversation. This is not about us getting the right answer, and especially not the right answer for you.
Because we don't know the right answers, really.
We don't.
It's a work in progress, right?
That's right. Yeah. So with that, we are going to just have a discussion. Our job here today is just to tantalize you a bit, just to start that discussion. Because as you start the discussion, right, you'll be able to communicate and talk through your own answers.
Which communication is the most important thing in marriage.
Say it again.
communication is the most important thing in marriage.
Exclamation mark. Thank you. The number 10 hardship in marriage is one, as we start off here, we're starting off something that we really don't quite know yet, right? And that hardship is being empty nesters.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
Not quite there. We got two in school, two in university.
Yes.
And so we got 2 away, but we still have 1 in grade 9.
That's right.
But would you still have some input, some discussion around empty nesters and the hardship that causes? Maybe I'll start. I'll start. Because you always do a great job of rounding things out.
Okay.
So for me, around the idea of empty nest, it's really just, as we talk about this, kind of preparing, and this is a good time for you and I to talk.
Yeah.
We're like 4 years away from that.
We are.
Maybe.
Because
they might come back, right? So anyway, so given that we may be 4 years away, it's probably a good time to start this discussion.
Yeah.
If it's already happened, right, it's still a good time to start a discussion. You got to talk about it. Got to have a plan. That's the best way to deal with it. I believe that a healthy relationship really does involve us taking an interest in each other. Me taking an interest in what you do and who you are, and you taking it. Even as we parent our kids and try to give them leadership and guidance and direction, even as we move along in our careers and have the things that we have that actually support our family and build our family, I believe it's very important to know each other and enjoy each other's company before you get to be empty nesters, because it can be a really awkward feeling if you wait till then.
100%. Absolutely. And I know we have quite a few friends that are empty nesters now. And it's funny because some people, they look forward to it. They're excited and they're like, yeah, you know what, we did it. It's just us now. And then there's some that are just really sad. Just they have a really hard time because they don't want to see their kids move out and they're lonely, right? And it's a sad time for them. So it's like, how do you find that happy medium? Because, you know, we have to allow our kids to grow and to, you know, that's what we want, right? We want to see that growth and to see them be able to blossom and move out and be successful. But, you know, for some parents, it's really hard and it's a really sad time. And for some, they're throwing a party. Are we going to throw a party?
For the record, I am a parent that does not look forward.
And I know that.
to seeing our children leave the house.
Absolutely.
Right? And they are welcome to come back whenever they like.
Anytime.
Yes. You, on the other hand, I'm not sure where you stand on this.
I'm throwing a party, baby.
Yes,
we're partying.
But
no,
for me,
I love my girls.
For me, if we become empty nesters sooner than we expect, it's still something that, even though I'd rather them be home, right? It still is something that I look forward to enjoying when it comes, right? While I prefer them to be home, I don't necessarily think of it as sad. There's a difference between the two, right?
Absolutely.
So I don't desire to be sad, you know, about it. It's like, okay, they've made that step. It's time for us to move on. We get involved in different things, other things, or even the things that we're involved in now, we're able to give more to. We come up with new hobbies. So I think while I would love for them to stay as long as possible. Once they leave, I think we're going to find a way to really enjoy it and make the best of it.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so. You know, because you know they're never really leaving.
No, they're not. No doubt.
Even now,
yes.
You know, they're still at home.
Yes.
You know,
yes. So.
They're home every other weekend.
Right. Good. Okay, so let's move on. Career. Career is the next one. Number 9, hardship, career.
So when you say career, what do you mean career?
Yeah, I think what they're referring to here is simply your vocation, what your because you're in a vocation, really the the challenge of balancing family, that
Right.
work-life balance, right?
Right.
So balancing family and your career can be a tough thing.
And I don't think it's just about balancing, because sometimes in relationships, it's not just the balancing the home life and the career. It's also, you also have jealousy, right? Which I think a lot of couples struggle with, because some of us don't want to admit it.
Your job better
But-
than mine.
But right, there is jealousy, and there can be jealousy sometimes, because a lot of times, one partner, feels like, well, you have the better job and you're doing this, and then I'm stuck doing this, and I'm not really happy because I really don't like my job, and because there can be some of that, and it really can cause stress on the marriage, and it can cause stress on the family life as well.
So what healthy input are we going to tell the people?
Oh, you know what? We're supposed to lift each other up.
Yes.
That we're partners. We're one.
Yes.
I'm you and you're me.
Yes.
Right? So if we're one, then your job is my job is your job. There's
Yeah.
no his or her. There's no separation there. Right? And if that's so, then there's no room for jealousy or animosity or anything like that.
All right. So that work-life balance is something that we have to constantly strive for and work hard at. And really, I think it's really about putting forth that earnest effort and doing little things, especially guys. Bring some flowers home every once in a while. Surprise her with a date. Do something different. Do something for your mate. Not just your kids, but do something for your mate. Also, make sure you're making time for your kids and especially special events, special days. We need to put the effort and really, I think the first thing is as we'll get to a little bit later with a couple of the ideas, is really understanding that we are married together, and I am here first to make sure that I take care of you. The better I take care of you, right, the better we both can take care of our kids.
So true. So true.
All right.
100%.
Okay, disinterest, right? So now disinterest, when, you get bored, you're in a relationship. I mean, we've been together 32 years, right?
We've been together 32
years.
years.
Is what we've been
Holy
together. Married 24,
smoke.
but together 32 years. So how do you guard against the malaise?
Oh, and you just have to keep it fun. Like,
Yes.
I mean, I think we do a really good job at that.
Yeah, you do.
I'm
You
not
do
bragging,
really good. Yes.
but and it's all about liking one another, right? Not just loving. Like, I love you, I love you, I know you love me.
Yes,
But
I
there's
do.
a difference between loving you and liking you, because
Oh,
if I like you and I like your company, then there's no room for that,
So good.
that
So
boredoms.
how do we like each other? How do we like each other?
because we enjoy each other's company. You
Yes.
enjoy the things that I do. I enjoy the things you do.
But what if you don't enjoy the stuff that your partner does?
Then we have to find something that the two of us enjoy.
Or we have to find something two of us enjoy.
That's
and I think another thing is it's okay to sacrifice a little bit.
Absolutely.
right?
You
And
have to.
And have a good attitude about it. Maybe you don't like it as much, but if you change your attitude on
That's
it,
right, and do
you
it
may-
anyway.
You may end up thinking you like it. You might end up like it more than you know,
Okay.
right? So all
like
right,
I
good.
learned to like football.
Yes. Oh, good. Here's another one that is much more rampant today than it has been in history. Depression. Say depression is 10 times. People are 10 times more likely to have depression than it was, I think, only somewhere between 30, 40 years ago. We're 10 times more likely. We make more money. We go to higher education more often. We have more stuff.
Have more
Our homes
things.
are bigger. I think we have 5 times more money than the one survey. I don't know if that was 30 years, 50 years, how long ago that was, but it says we have 5 times more money and we're 10 more times more likely to be depressed.
Wow.
But so what?
Wow.
Yeah. What do we?
You know what that reminded me of, as you were saying that?
Yes.
The article you were telling me about years ago with O.J. Simpson. Remember that? You were telling me about he was in a hotel room in Buffalo, and, you know, he was saying that he had so much money, he had fame, he had all this stuff.
Right. I forgot
Remember
about that.
that?
Yeah.
That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, he had all this stuff, but he was hurting, right?
Yeah, he was just so, he was so depressed, he was hurting because he wasn't really happy.
Right.
And a lot of times that's what happens with many of us. We, you know, we get all this stuff, thinking that stuff is going to, you know, fulfill everything and make us happy, but it's not about the stuff.
So I think this one is one that is better designed for a doctor, but there are a few things that we do know, right? And that is when you choose to be joyful, when you get up and you try to be joyful and you're joyful to people, it actually changes your mentality. There was a survey done of people who were diagnosed with depression. And they did this little test, and at the end of the day, each day, they were to write down the 3 best things that happened that day, right? Just for 7 days. And I think that next morning, they wrote down 3 things they were thankful for. So 3 things they were thankful for in the morning, 3 things that went well that during that day. That's what they did at night. And after just 1 week, the scores were 50% better than they were. So having a positive attitude, staying positive, I think we start there, and promote positivity, put those positive things in and around your life.
Yeah, choosing to be happy.
That's it. Sickness, right? Sickness is one of those things that's a real challenge, and I'll maybe take a stab at this first. For me, I married you for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health. And while none of us can control it, one thing I think we can do for each other is to try to make healthy choices, to be smart about preventing what we can. We can't control our health completely, but there are some things that we can control. So if we'll do that and do that in a preventative way before we say, especially if we have family history, right? Need to especially be on guard.
100%.
Yeah, so,
absolutely.
But then as sickness occurs, really, you know, it is for richer or for poorer, to death do us part, and learning to stay together and stick together even when times are difficult.
Yeah, and I like what you said about taking preventative measures. You know, it's good when, I love it when the two of us decide to do a challenge together, and we're doing this for months, and we're working out, and I'm trying to get better than you, and you're trying to do better than me, but
how do you always win?
It's fun because you know, it challenges both of us, and it encourages us to stay fit, to stay healthy, which is very important.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
And you know, I think it's important for, you know, all couples to try to, you know, do something like that together, and to want to be healthy for one another.
I should have said, yes, it is. Yes, it's so important. Now, one that is, very, well, this is an open wound, moving.
Ooh, stress, people,
Yes,
stress, just stress.
Yeah, so moving can be very difficult, and I'd like to give you some input here. We're in the middle of moving now.
Yes,
we were in one house for 17 years, and I don't have any. Listen, talk to somebody else, I think is the
Exactly. We're still trying to figure it out.
Yes. So yeah, let's move on. We're trying to figure that one out. We'll talk about that on another version of the sweet spot later after we move past this. Unfaithfulness. That's a huge one. That's a tough one.
Big one. That's a big one.
Yes.
Wow, where do we begin with that one? I
think
that's
and in this particular case, I think they were not only talking about unfaithfulness in the traditional way, right? But also not giving enough time and not giving enough attention, and so unfaithfulness to start with, right, is one of those things that we know happens, right?
Yes.
And
Too often.
we know happens way too often, right? But we would implore you first just to love and cherish each other, right? And it's impossible, right, to truly love, right, and to be unfaithful, because truly loving says, I put my interest before yours, right? It's impossible for me to put you before me and then me do an act that is that selfish. However, know this, when that act does occur, right, restoration can happen. Very difficult, but restoration can happen, right? To the perpetrator, understand that it takes time. Be patient. You've committed the offense, right? Don't demand that they get over it right away.
You have
right?
to give them time
They
to heal.
need time, right? And for the person on the other side, right? Just encourage you to be prayerful and not try to do this by yourself. To talk it through with others, but when you talk it through with others,
the thing is though, not mean to cut you off, but once you make that commitment to forgive,
right,
it's important that you don't keep bringing it up. Because if you're going to forgive and you're going to work together to move past it, you can't keep opening up old wounds.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to.
You don't
right?
want
it's
to.
Tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Right. Tough.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be so, demanding and say you can't, but that's not productive. Right. So if you do it, that truly
you have
is
to be
not
very
productive.
careful.
Right. Very good. The next one says immaturity. Right. So failing for the relationship to mature. Right. So you still, it's 24 years later, and I'm still trying to
figure out my favorite color.
Yes. But no. See, that's not fair.
You're trying to figure out my favorite color.
That's because yours
my
changed.
My favorite dessert.
So,
My favorite vacation spot.
Yes.
And that.
All of that.
Okay.
All that. So that process, right? But the relationship failing to mature is one of those things that can provide difficulty. It is so important to know your mate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
To spend that time to ask them questions, to not assume what they like because you've been together, but it's nice to ask them questions, hear it in their own words, because they do change.
They do
sometimes.
change. They do. Remember that show? Was it the dating game or the marriage? Something they had this show, and you had to answer questions about your partner, and so many times they would get it wrong. But that game, it really make a lot of sense.
You should sit in the car and play that game.
Like seriously, because it's really good.
But we should play that game, right? In a spirit.
Right.
In a spirit of forgiveness.
In a spirit of love.
In love. Latitude.
We don't want to cause not
attitude.
Any breakups.
Let's say it again. Latitude, not attitude. Together. Latitude, not attitude. Yes. So, all right. How about challenging children? Challenging children.
Oh, wow. For that, I think you have to be on one accord. Like you have to be in agreement. You can't. One parent can't be doing one thing and the other another thing, because you can't. It makes it very difficult. You have to be able to come to agreement as parents, as a couple.
What if you can't come to an agreement? I just don't agree with that. I don't believe that. It's not in my...
Well, you're going to have to compromise at some point.
Okay, good. So, because the real confusing part is if you can't come to that agreement,
that's right.
How is the kid supposed to?
100%.
Right, so we need to kind of think about
100%.
our child in that. So we have to find a way that we can agree and come to some level of consensus.
Before you can help him or her, you've got to be on one accord at some point.
So work this thing through. Find a way. Right. If you need, you get counseling, right? As a couple, right? To kind of work through this,
Absolutely.
right? And then when you get counsel, trust the counsel, right? Because sometimes we go get counseling.
And you need godly counsel.
Godly counsel.
You need godly.
Yes.
You
All right.
mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
It has
So-
to be godly counsel.
All right,
Yeah.
beautiful. Financial, that's number one. So we're at number one now.
Ooh, that's a
Financial is the that's
one.
yeah, that's a huge one. I used to tell my guys when I was coaching, one of the real secrets to life, to success in life or happiness in life is learning to live below your means. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many times we want to live above our means and above our resources. Life is a lot easier when we take that financial pressure off of
Right.
ourselves. And,
Right.
you know, the idea here is to have a plan, right? You and I are not good at the minutia plans,
Right.
Right? The detailed
That's
plans.
right. That's
so
right.
we have big plans.
Big- yes.
We have sometimes, you know, it's a window of a month. Sometimes it's 3 months. Most of the time we go on a year-by-year basis. We also have a 5-year plan. And so we have these plans that we put at these targets, these landmarks we put in place, right? Eliminating
Right.
debt was
Yeah.
a big thing for us, and we
Yeah.
did that, you know, for the first time with paying off our house some 10 years ago. But now we got a new house, and now we got debt again.
So we've got new plans.
So we got new plans.
Got more
Yes,
plans.
we got some hardship.
It's
too.
all
No,
good. It's all good.
It's all
We got
good. It's
new
all good. We got
plans.
new plans. We have a plan, not hardship. So work these things out, work them together, and so that's our top 10 list. But this top 10 stresses also has some other things. So we want to go through here fast. So just quick little hit list. Intimacy. Right, stresses over in frequency and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Any just quick advice there?
Oh, just know that you are there for your partner.
Right. Yes.
That's
okay.
important to know, right?
Okay.
So,
yeah. Something your mom said.
yeah,
right.
I
You're
don't
there
think
for
I
your
need
partner.
to
Yeah,
elaborate.
you're there for your
but
partner.
You are there for your partner.
Household responsibilities.
Household responsibilities. Let's see.
Okay, so you should consult someone else on that one too. She's let herself go.
You don't want me to go there, right?
so-
Okay,
yeah,
so
so-
we'll skip over
yeah,
that.
so-
Household
yes.
responsibilities. Just work it out with one another,
Yeah,
right?
okay, yes, so-
Just come up with a plan.
So she's let herself go. She's let herself go.
Oh, she's let herself go. You know what? For me, it's important to look my best for you
right.
because I want you looking at me
Right. So
all the time.
So this was in an Ask Men magazine. That's why I say she's let herself go, because he can let himself go too. For me, the real key is her appearance, right, doesn't affect my love for her.
Right.
Right. However, from a health and from an attraction standpoint, right, we want to be as healthy.
That's right.
And we want to try to be attractive as well. Let's work that out. Let's work together. Let's get.
Yeah.
So don't say you got no. You
That's
join
what we
in.
were talking about earlier.
Yeah, so having
Do
a
it
little fun
together.
with it.
Yep.
That's right. Doing it
Yep.
together. All right. Don't want kids. That's a big one.
Oh, that's
Yes.
a big one because
I think you
know
got to
what?
talk about that
You
first.
need to talk about that
That's
before you
first.
even marry.
Before you're married,
Yeah.
you need to talk about it. You don't want them? Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Differing parenting philosophy. We hit that already.
Yes,
so
we
that's
did.
one and that's can't have kids. Very difficult one.
That's a very
Let me
difficult
try a little bit first here is you are marrying your mate, right? You are not marrying a factory, not someone to produce you kids. You're marrying your mate. And whatever comes there, right? Him or her, if he can't for one
right.
reason, if she can't for one reason, right? We are there together,
That's
right?
right.
We're committed to one another, putting one another before. And so please know that if it hurts you, it's going to hurt them that much more because they know that you want it. So can't have kids. Make sure that you look after each other.
That's right.
In fact, there's no difference in the level of happiness of people who have children and don't have children.
Absolutely.
And actually, they said if there is a difference, it slightly favors those who don't. So that can be fulfilling. Yes. Okay, now we're down to the final one, right? The others all had some kind of crisscross, some kind of balance. But the last one, we saved the best for last, the in-laws.
Ooh. That can be tricky.
Is that why you wore a choker today?
That's
Those of you on the radio can't see that, but she's wearing a choker today.
Let me loosen this up a little bit. In-laws can be tricky.
Yes.
And you have to realize that your partner comes first, right? And then you work through everything else,
Yes.
right? Together
Yes.
as husband and wife. The Bible says you leave
Your
your parents,
your mother and father.
your mother and father, and cleave to
Cleave.
to your spouse.
Yeah, that's leave with a C.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
All right. Good. So, guys, I hope you've had a chance to kind of just think about your own situations, whether you're married or not married. You're kind of entertaining, whatever that is, and this dialogue should go on. So the show is over. We're done for the day, but you should continue this dialogue, not just for the next little while, but for the rest of your life, and continue the dialogue. Continue to talk. That's how I believe you grow together. That's how you find your sweet spot. Thank you so much. And would you close us?
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today here at The Sweet Spot. And like we always want to end with the words of Edward Everett, I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. What I can do, I ought to do. What I ought to do, by the grace of God, I will do. Until next time, stay in your sweet spot.
And don't move. Don't move. Don't go. No. Okay, maybe you can't move, but whoa, my goodness.
It's a lot of work.
Yes.